Hi guys, you're welcome to MJ Apparel tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful off-shoulder bustier blouse using the easiest method. It is detailed, beginner friendly and very easy to understand. This blouse can be worn as an off-shoulder blouse and also as a shouldered blouse. I'll also be showing you how to achieve an in-seam finishing when you're making a blouse like this. So if this looks like what you really wish to learn, please watch till the end. And if today is your first time on this channel, please click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And also don't forget to drop a like and a comment. The first thing I'll go ahead to do is to draft on my pattern paper, after which I'll transfer it to my main fabric. So first I'll go ahead to draw a straight horizontal line at the top of my paper this way. This line is going to serve as the shoulder line and I'll be starting my measurement from this line. Next I'll insert the vertical measurement, but before then I'll go ahead to determine how deep I want the off shoulder blouse to be. So for me, I'll be starting my measurement from this 6-inch mark. You can make yours 7 or 8 depending on how deep you want the off shoulder to be. Next I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder to the bust point, shoulder to the under bust, shoulder to the waist and the full length of the blouse I'm making. After which I'll go ahead to draw a straight horizontal line like you see me doing in the video. Next I'll go ahead to label it. So this part here is the bust point, here is the under bust, this part is the waist, and here we have the full length of the blouse. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to insert the dart, and in doing that I'm going to be marking half of my nipple to nipple measurement on the bust point line, on the waist and also on the full length line. After which I'll connect the point together using my ruler like you see me doing in the video. After connecting, I'll go ahead to take out the dart. I'm going to be using 2-inch for the dart and I'll be marking 0.75 on the center part and 1.25 on the side. So I'll go ahead to mark the 0.75 on the under bust line and also on the bust point line. Then I'll move over to the side and mark the 1.25 on the bust point line and on the under bust line. After which I'll go ahead to draw a straight line with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. Next, I'll be coming down by 1 inch from the bust point line, then I'll connect it to the under bust using my ruler like this. After connecting that point, next I'm going to go ahead to do is to connect the waist to the hemline. But before then, I'm going to be coming up by 2 inch from the full length line. So you go up by 2 inch and mark like this. After marking, you connect the waist to that 2-inch point using your ruler like this. So this is what it should look like after connecting. The next thing we're going to go ahead to do is to move over to the upper part. So first I'll go ahead to extend this line here using my ruler. After extending, I'll tighten the over bust, and in doing that I'll be marking 0.75 inch on both sides like this. After marking, I'll connect to the bust point using my ruler like this. Next, I'll go ahead to blend the bust area to eliminate any sharp edge. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to determine the neck width, and in doing that, the formula I use is the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus 1.5. So my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 is 3.75 plus 1.5 is 5.25. So I'm going to go ahead to approximate it to 5.5 and mark at this point. After marking, I'll go ahead to measure what I have on this dart area and replace it on the side also. Next, I'm going to go ahead to insert the armhole depth, and in doing that I'll be placing my tape this way starting from the 6-inch mark. Then I'll go ahead to measure my armhole depth, which is 8 inch. After which I'll connect with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So this part here is going to serve as the chest line. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to insert my bust measurement on the bust line, waist measurement on the waistline, and the hip measurement on the full length line. So I'm going to insert my bust divided by 4 on the chest line this way. Then I'll add a sewing allowance of 1.5 inch. Next I'll move to the waistline. I'll be marking my waist divided by 4. Then I'll go ahead to measure what I have on this dart area and replace it on the side, plus my sewing allowance of 1.5 inch. So on the full length line, I'm going to go ahead to insert my hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. After marking, I'll go ahead to connect the points together with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. After connecting the side, next I'm going to go ahead to do is to draw the armhole like this. So basically this is what the blouse is going to look like. Next I'm going to go ahead to do is to work on the neckline. You can decide to leave the neckline like this. You can decide to draw a sweetheart neckline depending on what you want on the neck. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead to curve the front a little bit with my ruler like this. So after covering that part, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to work on the side of the blouse because I don't want it to have a sharp edge. And in doing that, I'm going to be going up by 1 inch on the side this way. Then I'll connect to the hem using the curved part of my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So this is to give the lower part of the blouse this curved shape. Next, I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is what it is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to draft the back of the off-shoulder blouse. So for the back, the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to mark my zip allowance of 1.5 inch all the way down like you see me doing in the video. After marking it, I'll go ahead to draw a straight vertical line with my ruler like this. Next, I'll go ahead to draw a straight horizontal line at the top line. This is going to serve as the shoulder line. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to insert the vertical measurement. So remember, for the front, we started our measurement from 6 inch. We'll be doing the same thing for the back also. So I'll go ahead to measure my shoulder to bust point, shoulder to waist, and the full length of the blouse I'm making. After which, I'll go ahead to draw a straight horizontal line with my ruler like this. After doing this, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to take out the waist dart. So I'll be measuring half of my nipple to nipple measurement on the waistline, on the bust point line, and also on the full length line. After marking, I'll connect the 3 points together with a straight line using my ruler like this. Next, I'll go ahead to take out a waist dart of 0.5 inch on the waistline. So I'll be marking 0.5 inch on both sides like this. Then I'll come up by 2 inch from the hip line. Then I'll connect the dart leg using my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So this is what the dart is going to look like. Next, we'll go ahead to insert the neck width. Remember, we mark a neck width of 5.5 on the front. So whatever you mark on the front, you'll be marking same on the back. Then I'll go ahead to insert the armhole depth like you see me doing in the video. So next, I'm going to go ahead to insert my bust, waist, and hip circumference measurement. So I'll be marking my bust divided by 4 on the chest line plus my sewing allowance of 1.5 inch. Then I'll move over to the waist and insert the waist divided by 4 plus this 1 inch dart plus my sewing allowance of 1.5 inch. Then on the full length line, I'll be inserting my hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. After marking, I'll go ahead to connect the side with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. Like next, I'll go ahead to draw the armhole for the back like this. Next, I'm going to go ahead to do is to draw the back neckline. So I'll just place my ruler this way and give it a slight curve like this. Next, I'm going to go ahead to do is to work on the back. So I'm going to be going in by 0.5 inch this way. Then I'll connect to the bust point line. like this. Then I'll connect to 2 inch above the hemline like this. So I'm doing this to eliminate the zipper bulge at the back of the blouse after it's being worn. Next, I'm going to go ahead to retake my 1.5 inch zipper allowance like you see me doing in the video. So this part here is going to serve as the new zip allowance. So when fixing your zip, you should also follow the shape you have at the back. Next, I'm going to be going up by 1 inch on the side like I did for the front, and I'll go ahead to connect to the hemline using the curved part of my ruler like this. After which, I'll go ahead to cut it out. After cutting, this is what the back is going to look like. Next, I'm going to go ahead to cut my fabric using the pattern that was drafted. So I went ahead to cut out my fabric using the pattern that was drafted, and this is what it's going to look like. I added 1 inch seam allowance on the hem and 0.5 inch on this side and also on the neckline. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to pad it using my wadding. I'll quickly do that, then I'll come back to show you what it looks like. So after padding it, this is what it is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to join the center panel to the side. So I'll join it this way, making sure that the good face is facing the good face. After which I'll go over my sewing machine to sew. So when sewing, you start sewing from the lower part down to the top, and when sewing, make sure you follow the curve on the bustier area to be able to achieve the curve. So I'll quickly go over my sewing machine to do that, and I'll be doing the same thing for my lining also. After doing that, I'll come back to show you the next step. After sewing and ironing, this is what the bustier is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking so beautiful and the curves came out very well. I'll be dropping a detailed tutorial on how to cut, pad and sew your bustier properly in the next tutorial. So next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to join the front of the bustier to the back. So here is my back. Here is the back of the blouse I'm making, and I've gone ahead to sew in the waist that this is what it looks like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to join the front to the back. So you go ahead to place it this way, making sure that the good face of the back is facing the good face of the front. After which I'll go over my sewing machine to sew my sewing allowance of 1.5 inch this way. I'll also go ahead to do the same thing for the other side and also for the lining. I'll quickly do that. After doing that, I'll come back to show you what to do next. After joining the back to the front, this is what it is going to look like. So I went ahead to sew out this sewing allowance I added while drafting, and this is what it is going to look like after giving it a good press. I also went ahead to fix my zipper to the blouse. When fixing your zipper, you'll be going up by 2 inch from the hemline. Then you go ahead to fix the zipper. This is what you should have after doing that. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to join the lining to the main fabric. So here I have my lining, and I've also gone ahead to join the side, to join the back to the front like this. So whatever you do on your main fabric, you'll be repeating the same thing on your lining. So this is what my lining look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to trim the lining, and in doing that I'm going to be folding my lining and cut out 0.5 inch. So just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. I'm doing this because I want my main fabric to fold in a little, and also to avoid the lining showing outside when the dress is being worn. So after trimming the lining, this is what it is going to look like. So this is what the inner part look like, and this is what the good face look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to join the lining to the main fabric, and in doing that you're going to be placing your lining on the main fabric this way, making sure that the good face is facing the good face of the fabric. Then you go ahead to arrange it, after which you go over your sewing machine. Then you start sewing from the back this way down to the other side of the blouse. So after sewing the neckline, next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to also close up the hem of the blouse. So you make sure that they align also. Then you go ahead to close up the hem of the blouse using 0.5 inch sewing allowance that was added. So I'll quickly go over my sewing machine to do that. After doing that, I'll come back to show you what to do next. So I went ahead to close up the neckline, and this is what we have. So on the back area, you sew over the zipper allowance like this, and also I added a hemming gum to the neckline because I did not top stitch it and I want it to lay flat. So if you want it to lay flat without the lining coming out, you add a hemming gum to it. I also went ahead to finish up the hem of the blouse. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to close up this part, and in doing that, what you'll be doing is so simple. So you go over your sewing machine and you will stitch. When stitching, you will stitch close to the seam of the zip and you will stitch all the way down. So when stitching, you will start from the top down to the down part because of this excess we have here after reducing the lining. So it is best to start from the upper part down to the lower part, and when sewing, you sew close to the zipper seam. So after closing the zipper area, this is what it is going to look like. So this is what you should have after doing that. You start sewing from the upper part down to the lower part. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to trim off the excess zipper allowance I have, after which I'll go ahead to notch the neckline and the hemline. Then I'll turn it over to the good face using the armhole area. So just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. So after turning it over to the good face, this is what it is going to look like, and this is what the inner part of the blouse is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to give it a good press, then I'll show you what it looks like. So I went ahead to give it a good press, and this is what it looks like. So I'll turn it over for you to see what the inner part looks like. So here we have the inner part. As you can see, it's looking so neat. So to achieve this effect on the neckline, when sewing your neckline, add a hemming gum to it so that the neckline will lay properly and the lining will not come out. And also on the lower part, to achieve this, make sure that your lining is a little bit shorter than the main fabric. So this is what it is going to look like. Next I'm going to go ahead to do is to close it up for you to see what the blouse look like. So after fixing the zip, this is what the blouse look like, and this is what the inner part is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking so neat and very beautiful. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to attach my sleeve to the blouse. This is the puff sleeve I'm going to be attaching to the blouse. So the video was getting too long. I had to make this in another video. So I'll be dropping the tutorial on how I made this puff sleeve in the next tutorials for you to see how it was made. So I'm going to go ahead to attach this puff sleeve to the blouse that we have made. So I'm going to be placing it this way, making sure that the good face is facing the good face of my fabric. Then I'll go ahead to sew it. After sewing it, I'll come back to show you the final look of the blouse. So after fixing the sleeve to the blouse, this is what it is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking so beautiful and fitted. So if you follow the same procedure I use in making this blouse, you're going to be having the same result after making it. So if this video was helpful to you, please don't forget to like, share and drop a comment. And also, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please click on the subscribe button so you get notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.